Tonight, from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the New England Patriots taking on the Minnesota Vikings.
From a venue that's been sold out since it opened back in 2002, there's a look at the home of the Patriots, Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Tonight we move on to week 2 of the preseason, and we've got a compelling matchup here, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the New England Patriots. Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And we are underway in Foxborough. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Gets around him, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Great beginning there under the bright lights of primetime.
Yeah, it takes you back to high school football on a Friday night, doesn't it? When you feel like every eye in the county is on you. In this case, every eye in primetime is on you.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's second down and 7. Off play action. McCarthy. Out of the backfield, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there and a first down. Well, he's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL. Being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Down to about the 45.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Jones. And he's going to take this down close to the 1st as he's brought down at the Patriots 39. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Vikings first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Second down, another shot for Jones. And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. McCarthy. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And his kick is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So they'll likely get a few more drives before we see the second team, but a good start for the first unit with 3 points.
Yeah, good start, and now they want to see them build on it, because you're exactly right. They'll get a few more drives at this stage of the preseason. Can they continue to evolve and add to what we just saw in the first drive?
And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. So out comes the Patriots offense as they'll get their first shot at things here. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their 3rd-year quarterback.
And you'd think as a young QB there'd be some nerves leading an offense out to start a game, but haven't seen any sign of them right now. And speaking with him earlier this week, sensed that the pressure wouldn't get to him. He feels comfortable being the face of this offense and shouldering the expectations on game day, even if he doesn't quite have the years of experience other quarterbacks do.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it. This is Ramondre Stevenson. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd down at 6 now from the 42. Douglas, the man in motion. Second and 6. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. So nothing doing there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. they'll look to throw here. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Flush to his right. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and it'll be a turnover on downs. So just shy of midfield. They tried it. Didn't work out. What did you think?
I thought that they should have punted the ball away. Should have gotten rid of it and played defense with better field position. Look, I'm as aggressive as anyone wanting to go for it on offense, but in this situation, it doesn't.
First half.
I don't know that there's any risk. I mean, what's the reward for your risk here? I would not have done that. My only explanation is this coach, he may want to be up here in the booth with us. We may have a 3-man booth starting next week if he keeps up with those decisions.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down and 6. Operating from the gun, McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson, and he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. Short completion, just 4 yards, and now that sets up 3rd and 2.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the 1st down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. They'll try and run for it with Jones, and he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, injury's never good, especially here in the preseason. Hopefully nothing serious. They'll take a look at him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, McCarthy. This one swung out here to Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Jefferson has his first catch. He also has a 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they'd left their starting quarterback out there for this second quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
62 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Taking it in from 4 yards out as his guys are able to extend their lead. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows to 10-0. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
So now here in the second week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along, because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle? No mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
Douglas, the man in motion. They'll look to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he will have a Patriots first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
And Shaheed going to go in motion.
He'll look to throw. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll drop to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. 1st and 10 here. And, you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And Shaheed going to go in motion. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Second and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have a first down and also well into field goal range all the way down to the 15 here. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Back to throw again.
That's to the pylon and incomplete.
You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now. It's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
Here's 2nd and 10.
He'll drop to throw. Henry's got it out on the left side.
Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick.
So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the 3rd quarter.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, They've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with third and about 6 yards to go. And now they're in the hurry-up. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
Well, that's the kind of play that was lacking all the way through the first half. Maybe this can give them a little bit of a spark because they're not out of this game by any stretch.
Let's go now. 60 Vikings, 60 Vikings.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Now a play fake here on first down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Let's bring it. Mike 52, Mike 52. Hey, what's the ball? Trap 60, trap 60. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Back to throw. Clemens flushed out right. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Lawrence. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence again.
Under pressure, and down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble.
They'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. And now out come the Patriots. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Here's Gibson to start the drive.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
And he's going to have a page 30.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it,
You could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
On second down, a run with Gibson. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things, and they've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. It's Patriot football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter. A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Gibson again. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That's complete. It's Bell. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 34-yard line. Straight ahead, Gibson. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. Down right around the 25. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They go play action here on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Bell. Touchdown! A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. We may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there. They went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They'll go again with Herbert. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively.
And remember, no overtime here in preseason. This offense hoping that's a moot issue as they try to finish this one off. Another run on second down, trying to cover up.
The Patriots will take their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Here is third down and 4. Throwing now, Lawrence. That is caught, and he will have a Viking first down, and that should be the one that gets him to the finish line.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here.
Lawrence to a knee, and that will write a finish to this one.
Well, partner, it's just preseason, but it always feels good to be in victory formation, taking the knee for the W.
Yeah, I've often thought to myself when I watch these preseason games, some teams need the wins more than others. You know, if you're established and you're used to winning, not quite the same. But if you're trying to learn how to win, it's important to get it done. And to be able to kneel down at the end, even better.
Well, obviously, Charles, this was by no means an offensive track meet. I mean, the defenses were the story in this ball game, but hey, they got enough points to get the job done, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
You're absolutely right about that, partner. In such a low-scoring game, it completely changes everything you had planned to do out there. Fortunately for them, they got just enough scoring to bring home the win, and in this type of a game, to play their defense, that became one of their biggest keys.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA.